This episode of the Verdict Podcast is brought to you by Impressive, the smoking accessories company. Impressive makes stylish, luxury smoking accessories for the young millennial. These products not only come at a great price, but are only meant to be purchased one time. They have premium mat grinders, electronic lighters, and multifunction vape batteries. Impressive also provides free shipping all over the U.S. Visit smokeimpressive.com and use our code VERDICT to get an additional 10% off when you check out. That's smokeimpressive.com using promo code VERDICT. And now, let's get to it.
I'm joined right now by one parent, Lizette Rosenblatt, a mother whose daughter was thankfully able to escape from the school unharmed. Lizette, first of all,
today, something we never thought we'd experience.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to episode 63 of my premium podcast experience, the Verdict Podcast. I'm your host, Splash Jordan. Joined with me today,
the lovely Nova Nee.
What's up with you? How you feeling?
Great. Grand, the slam way.
Right. Off the rip, before we get started, shout out to Impressive, our sponsor, who's been hooking us up. Some premium vape batteries, also some mat grinders. Still waiting on my electronic lighter I was supposed to get for the hookup, but, hopefully, we can work that out, okay? So if you're trying to get your hands on one yourself, you can go to smokeimpressive.com. Use our code VERDICT, VERDICT, for 10% off when you check out. That's code VERDICT. 10% off when you check out. Get straight with the shit, okay? 420 coming up. You probably got some time to get a sneak order off so that you can, have some dope shit to celebrate with, okay? So this is our first regular episode since the live show. And I'm on the fence if I want to post the audio from the live show. I don't think I do, but I could. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? To me, it was such an intimate moment that I kind of want to just hold on to it, but
keep it between us. If you didn't come, you just missed out.
Right. We'll see. The video was still being edited, so there's definitely some interesting things occurring on film. So that's dope. The whole it was wild though. I learned a lot. I saw a lot. It was a lot of fun. But when it was over, I had to decompress. I still haven't even used my Instagram. I haven't even posted anything.
Yeah, you haven't.
Right, because I'm still kind of just getting over, the mental stress of having to do all that.
Yeah.
But I'll get back soon, I'm sure. Hopefully before people completely forget that, I exist and that I'm a person on the internet.
Yeah, you do have to do so.
How do you feel about it? Is there any highlights for you, or is the whole night a blur kind of?
No, I mean, there was a lot of highlights. There was a lot of good energy that was in the room. And it was a great experience, great learning experience, especially for me. I'm one of those people that's used to behind the camera. Mm-hmm. Not live where it's being live on a camera, if you fuck up, but it's just different when it's people staring at you. It's if you don't know they're staring, it's a different vibe. So I'm oh God, I don't even know what to do. But you're here now, just go with it.
Right. It went well. And
it did.
And there were people, and the audience there was definitely engaged. And I think that they enjoyed what happened.
Yeah.
And I do think that the people there enjoyed themselves and thought, hey, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear about this again.
Right.
I don't even want to say how the second one goes.
Nope. Don't even tell them.
Yeah. I don't even want to say.
Don't even say nothing.
But this is so fire. And that's why I gave myself a lot of time. Mm-hmm. That's why I gave myself more time, because it's even more outlandish than the first time.
I'm ready.
So shouts out to everybody who came. Shout out to everybody who was rocking with us.
Definitely. Shout out to y'all.
Even AJ of AJ Presents the Greater Good was there and was talking about some ridiculous ketchup on chicken nuggets. And that was like that for me. That was the highlight when the crowd was like, "What? Boo! Get that shit out of here!"
Yeah, no, it's like a third grader.
Right?
Like,
I was like, "I don't even
chicken nuggets with damn ketchup."
Right.
Like there are so many other sauces to dip your fucking chicken nuggets in.
Well, this is their argument. If there's no other sauce, is ketchup okay? If the option is no sauce or ketchup, I'm not going to do it.
I'm not eating ketchup on any day, but still no. Even if it's the last one, no.
No, thank you. No, thank you. As a reasonable adult, I'll just eat them plain, or I'll just not eat these.
Facts.
Like, I mean, I have that option, but
I'll dip my shit in honey before I dip it in some
right,
ketchup.
shit, I'll grab some pickle juice.
Right, I'm dipping it in something else. I'm making some type of sauce.
Right, shit, dude, some ketchup. But yeah, that was but definitely shout out to him. Made the trip up here, got a lot of dope content. I'll definitely make sure that I share that around so you guys can see that. But just the thought of him driving up there and then getting booed, it was just like, one of the highlights of the evening.
Yeah,
it was like, man, that's
shout out to you though for that drive.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's love right there.
Right.
All of this is love. I felt love in the room, which was crazy. But we'll appreciate it. So anyway, if you weren't there, then you may have missed our announcement that we're actually coming to a college near you if, fine print, you live in North Carolina.
Facts.
Okay.
Fine print.
So, for right now, we're coming to a college near you over the summer. So hopefully, that doesn't interfere with your summer travel plans if you're around. But the Verdict Podcast is going on tour. And, we want to check out all our college kids, college heads, invite you out to kind of, hang with us, put us up on game, what's going on your campus, as well as us kind of, shake things up a bit and, present some information in a new and exciting way. Might bring some special guests here and there along the way to keep you on your toes. So start the podcast on a somber note. Nipsey Hussle was laid to rest today.
Rest in peace, definitely.
Yeah, the funeral, the going home celebration. I think they had it in the Staples Center.
Yes.
It was sold out. I think it was a free event. Like you just had to reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And like they went through them in like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then supposedly they like resurfaced online. Like people were reselling them on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, damn, like niggas will find any way to make some money. But but do you, player? Because I was thinking like, I'd pay. I'm not paying what you're charging.
Right.
But certainly if I'm in the area, I'm going to the site. I didn't expect them to be free. Right. Even though it's like, why wouldn't they be? Right. But at the same time, I didn't expect them to be free. So it's like, I'll pay, but what you're doing is kind of like, fucked up. But
right.
So rest in peace to, a young king. And, a lot of the information kind of came out about what happened. There's more detail since the last time we spoke. There's more detail surrounding the circumstances leading up to his death, who that individual was. Do you feel any less skeptical about the events as they've been laid out, or do you feel like there's this much larger conspiracy at play?
It's definitely much larger.
Wow. Okay. All right.
It's definitely much larger. And I don't care what evidence they try to throw out. I don't care how they try to piece it together to cover it up. They were too fucking sloppy with this one, and they took someone too fucking great for some dumb shit. So no, it's definitely something greater behind it. They just didn't know his death was gonna cause a ripple effect and everything. So yeah, now you got 1,000 little minions or 1,000 million minions actually putting the information out that you tried to cover up by killing this one person because you had no idea the effects he had on the community, period. The world, everybody knows Nipsey. That's King Nipsey for real.
Okay. I mean, if I'm somebody who wanted him out of if I'm someone who is that threatened by him, you got to know that I would know that if I kill him, I'm just going to make more of him.
They had no idea.
How would they not?
Because they wouldn't have done it. How do you try to quiet somebody? You kill somebody to quiet them from information being leaked that has already been leaked before, but when Left Eye died of it. And when he died, like, nobody really knew about him. It's the fact of what he had, the effect he had on the culture is how it's like, oh, damn, like, now it's like something crazy. Like, everybody's reposting. Like, they still talking about this nigga. Like, we didn't even talk for extension this long. Come on. Nobody talked about a lot of people. Like,
XXX?
Mac Miller.
They still talking about XXX.
No, nobody's posting him no more. Like,
yes, they are. A lot of people are still talking. And a lot of people
He was not hyped like it is right now.
No, not at all like right now. But
No.
it's definitely much fresher.
Of course, it's much, but it still did not go on this heavy for this long. Like, it's a different ripple effect in the universe with Nipsey dying. Period, and it's a different cause.
I'm not arguing that. I just think that the cause is a lot more simplistic than we often think.
Okay, so to me, if it was just some gang related, okay, they got to his ass. First of all, Nippy would never get caught slipping like that. He would never get caught slipping. Furthermore, how is it that the dude shoots and you've got all these gang members around you, closest friends, and nobody shoots back? And this dude has whole time to double back and shoot this man in the head as like the final shot, and nobody shoots this man, and he gets away, and it's just some gang shit. Nah, he would have been capped on sight. Like, come the fuck on.
After
everybody was in it. That's what you're trying to tell me?
After that, though, they went and shot, people he's related to are dead.
The people, come on now.
People they knew very quickly what was going on, and there was 4 to 6, allegedly 4 to 6 retaliation shootings, that same afternoon. It's like, okay, if they didn't know
later on that afternoon,
yes,
or at the same time that Nipsey got shot, because you just having shootouts later because you mad and you trying to be vengeful is completely different than you being on site when that man was shot. Because from what I'm understanding, those videos, nobody shot back at that man. He had time to get away. If it was really some gang shit, he would have never gotten away, and Nipsey would have never been dead. Period.
No,
period.
With him being someone who is familiar to that area, in what ways you can you can move invisible in an area where people are familiar to you. So yes, we could feel some type of animosity, but that was his. Just as much as it was Nipsey's, that was his hood. He knows how to approach this man. I cannot go to somebody else's city and walk up to the head and just walk up to the head honcho.
But see, that's the thing. From what my understanding is, the conversation was him telling him he's doing too much and he needed to walk the fuck off before he fucking got shot, and that's what pissed him the fuck off. So he was already trying to do some extra shit, and Nipsey already told him, dude, you're doing too much. You need to go on about your business. Because he was already getting ready to have this dude get out of jail, and he was about to gift him a shitload of fucking damn clothes. Right. So Nipsey had a whole different day planned.
Right. And I think that's basically what it boils down to. He was, vibrating on a higher, vibration at that moment. He wasn't thinking hey, I need to handle some business, because he was already engaged in some other business. And at that moment, this person knowing you're distracted, this is an opportunity for me.
He wouldn't have been distracted that. Come on now.
What do you mean? He was doing something. He was doing something else totally different.
Even if he was distracted, how do you have all of your people around you and nobody shoots back?
Listen, how does a plane? How niggas hijacking planes with
somebody was still trying to take that motherfucker down on the way down. It's just nobody really knew the fight because everybody died when they crashed. So, no, this motherfucker was set the fuck up, and it's some bullshit, and they want to cover it up. No, that is...
Set up by who? For what?
What?
For who? For what?
For who? For what?
By who? For what?
To give information out and set up by the government.
Okay.
Period. So,
you know what? We'll just agree to disagree.
Amen.
And just say rest in peace to a king.
Hallelujah.
So... in a completely unrelated saga that's still ongoing, I think I told you all, lately, you and the audience, about, my side hustle that kind of, hit some turbulence when, legal action was, pressed against me. And how, there was just some harsh feelings, not harsh feelings, but there was just some harsh ongoings and dealings between me and a former company. So in one of the venues that I was doing work in, I contacted them. I was like, hey, look, we can't move forward. It's just turned into, a bit of a nasty situation. It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said, okay. So I get a call from, the management of this venue. The same individual I had been in contact with before. And he says, hey, this is random, I know, but, we're going to have to terminate the company that we're dealing with, regardless of what you're doing, of what you do or don't do, these individuals, we have to terminate, our dealings with them. The host showed up and, behaved unprofessionally is what I'll say. And he said some things and he made recommendations and it turned a lot of people off. People who are used to being, in a certain environment, it was just kind of jarring for them and they didn't like it. So when they let it be known to management, he was like, okay, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to call bruh and see what's good. So he's like, So, I told him, yeah, we can move forward. We can do some things. And I had to pause for a moment because I wouldn't classify myself as like a super religious person, but it just felt like in that moment, like the universe had moved on my behalf. Like I hadn't done anything. I didn't move forward. I didn't act. I didn't get petty. I didn't react out of anger. I didn't stoop down to any levels. I just maintained, I tried to maintain composure and, just remain, whatever throughout the whole situation. And then it was just like, without having to do anything, it's just like the things I want, they come back to me. That's just like, it was just like a wow moment in what was going on, even though I probably will have to engage in like, some legal hoopla with them, just because they're not going to let it go. They're going to be upset. Even though at this point, you've been fired on your own merit. Right. You've been fired on your own merit and, you've been replaced. But they're going to be upset, As hell. Even though it's like, okay, if they walked in there and saw you doing it, what could they say?
Nothing.
Right. But the fact that they walk in there and see me doing it, it's just like you feel like, you can say something to me. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not the one.
Right.
I'm not the one.
I know my laws.
Yeah. It's just like I'm too like activated at this point. Like, my mind is just, in a total different space. So that's kind of, the updates. I'll keep everybody updated with what happens with that because I'm sure, and that should make for some great content because
it shows exactly what happened.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on with this process, but I'm getting ready to, have to, defend my actions and, do some things in court, but I'll keep everybody posted. Who would have thought that, I'd get wrapped up in some legalities. So, before we move on to the roll call, like our big major, case that we're following right now. So the Jussie Smollett case is fine. I guess I seen pictures of him laughing, yucking it up in Hawaii. So I guess we're finally done with his ass.
Yeah.
So now the case that we're following is Julian Assange. I hope I said his name right. The founder of WikiLeaks. You familiar with WikiLeaks?
Very vaguely.
Okay, so for anyone who's not familiar, WikiLeaks was a nonprofit organization where people could anonymously post classified and confidential information. So a lot of interesting things going on in Washington, D.C. were exposed and verified on WikiLeaks. And so, there are those people who, common people like me and you may feel like this is a great thing, but obviously the powers that be would feel like, no, this is a very bad thing.
Yeah.
Like you're taking secret information and you're exposing it, regardless of your intent.
Right.
So these type of people are prosecuted and, oppressed. Journalists, are these type of people. These journalists are being persecuted for having audacity to expose what may be considered by most as kind of shady business, by people who They're supposed to be transparent.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was in the embassy. I want to say this was in Sweden, Switzerland. I should know, but I think it was Sweden. So, and I think at the time they had a no extradition. So that means, you know, they don't have to send you back to the country. So anyway, but apparently there were some issues between him and the, you know, the new regime. And so they kind of was just like, you know, hey, you know, whoever wants him, come get him. And so he was wanted in UK on like some rape charges. And then he was also wanted in the United States.
Damn.
Right. So yeah, so the UK has him now, I'm pretty sure. And then they'll do whatever, but they'll probably end up turning him over to United States. So that he can be tried over here. And then he'll go to one of our prisons, which is like torture camps.
Right.
Never to be heard from again. So
damn, that's horrible.
Right. So, you know, those type of like Robin Hood scenarios where it's like, you know, because I'm reminded of like Eric Snowden. Did you ever see that movie Snowden?
No.
It's like a very good movie, and for someone who was like completely ignorant of the situation, kind of sum things up. And even if it didn't, I'm just going to say that it did. But basically, you know, he became aware of certain surveillance tactics that were being used, and, you know, it made him feel uncomfortable. And then I think he actually used it, and he saw something he didn't want to see. I'm not going to say he saw his girlfriend cheating on him. But I kind of think that is what he saw. But, you know, he saw something. I'd have to refresh my memory, but he saw something he didn't want to see. But he released this information about how, you know, people are being monitored and da-da-da-da. United States wants him bad. I think he's still in Russia or someplace. You know, he's got the decency at least to fucking, you know, crawl under a rock and be quiet.
Right.
This other guy fucking had a cat in the embassy and shit, and, you know, doing all types of other shit he wasn't supposed to be doing, but and was just like, fuck y'all, you know, I'm me.
Living it up.
Right. So we'll be following that story and see kind of what goes on. That's kind of, you know, it's important for a number of reasons because you know, they want him be, you know, in connection to a lot of things that, you know, would be viewed as helpful. So it's like, you know, he's being tried for, you know, helping us, but in doing it in a way that you don't like, you know, so now he has to go away for that. But, you know, we kind of need him, you know, or the people like him. And you're sending a message to people who would be like him that we're not going to tolerate it. We're going to wait as long as it takes, come get you and throw you in fucking prison. So, we'll see, man. You know, we'll see. Because once he's in prison, once he's in, you know, the United States in prison, you know, he'll basically, you know, he'll end up dead pretty quick.
Pretty much.
So before we hit the roll call, did you have anything going on locally? Like anything that's happening around here?
Yeah, like Durham is on the map right now, and not for a good thing. We actually had a gas explosion like 10 a.m. and it caused like a bunch of buildings to collapse. I think one dead, that was the coffee shop owner. And then like a bunch of other people, I think it was like 17 other people had been injured. But they're supposed to be doing good, but it was still like they said it was like a war zone. Like they told you to avoid the area. I think it's like Brightleaf Square area.
I think so.
Yep. And everything's supposed to be shut down and things like that. But I had actually probably heard about it like not too much after, because my homeboy is a firefighter. He was like, yeah, I'm in training and I wish I could be out there. I'm like, dude, that's like Durham explosion? Like, what the fuck? But yeah. I think it was like a construction guy hit one of the lines and kaboom.
Right. A construction guy hit.
Like they have to pay more attention. Like, how do you just do that? Like,
well,
and what is the repercussions for something like that? Like,
well, here's the thing about construction workers. A lot of times when you want to work construction, you wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning,
stand in the street, wait for them to pick you up, day labor.
That, or you just go up to the construction site in the morning and just introduce yourself and say, hey, you know, I can come back tomorrow and start moving some shit. And if they don't hire you, then they'll tell you where to go so that you can get hired.
Right.
But it's not like, these are college educated people. A lot of times it's just someone who's overworked and not an expert at what he's doing.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sure he didn't wake up that morning like, yeah, I'm about to fucking hit this line and blow, and kill someone.
Of course.
But there does have to be some type of, I mean, obviously the company should have to, cover these costs. I don't know if they are or will, but
that's a big fucking, like, you leveled a building, and I think you leveled more than one building,
right? And and you injured people,
and
someone's dead.
Yeah, they said that if the firefighters hadn't have evacuated the rest of the people that were in his coffee shop, they would have died within the collapse as well. So to think of it, it could have been multiple more, but they moved quickly. Like, the firemen got there within like a minute or so as soon as they heard the noise, because it was like everything shook. Like, I think somebody on my snap was like, "Dude, everything in Durham just shook," and I was like, "Yeah, like it was an explosion over there." He was like, "Dude, this shit's crazy." Right,
that is. So shout out to the firefighters, first responders, for quick action and saving the lives that they could save.
And the ones that lost their lives, because I think a couple of people, no, actually the ones that got injured, because it's a couple of them that got injured in there. I think 4 of them. Right,
yeah, a couple of people injured were first responders and or firefighters. So hopefully, positive, thoughts up to them and their families.
Prayers up as well.
So roll call. So a couple people been locked up since last time we spoke. Number one was Boosie Badass. He got locked up. He had a gun on him, a little bit of weed, I think, too. Doesn't seem like he's too concerned about it.
No, he's out already.
Right, yeah, he's already out.
They would set him at a stupid high bond, right?
I don't even know.
Or no. They were trying to keep his court date till like December. Like, his first court date was supposed to be in like December.
So they're going to try and hold him till December?
Yes.
Yeah, no fucking way.
Get me out of here.
Right.
Come get me.
That live he did where he was like, only 300 people had bought his album was, have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, so like, he was saying only 300 people had bought his album, and he was mad, because it'd be a whole bunch of people in his live, and so he was saying how, people, they want to watch his live and laugh, but, they want to support his music. So he was like, mad, but like he was still making a joke out of it.
Right.
And it was just, so he was trying to kick everybody out live who didn't buy the album. And it was just very funny. And it just showed me, like how, some people might miss their calling sometimes, or sometimes, like a second talent like starts emerging, like, later on. It's like, really, man, fuck all that music shit. Like, you got something else going kind of now anyway. So you should really be trying to, see what's going on with that. But fuck all that music shit, since it's some hoobity hop anyway.
Right.
But other person who's been in and out of jail since we last spoke, Conor McGregor. And so he faces up to 6 years in prison for felony robbery.
Damn, what did he steal?
Well, he there was, I guess, someone recording him on their phone. And, he, motioned like he was going to shake the guy's hand. But instead he snatched the phone and like threw it on the ground and stepped on it. And, that might seem like a small thing, but it kind of isn't. Like, it kind of isn't. Like, to take someone's property and destroy it is like, felonious.
I mean, yeah, I'd be pissed, but that is like kind of a strong charge.
Right. So obviously he won't do that. His lawyers are better than that, I'm sure. But, it's just, so, that's just, what he has to wear at the moment. That's just what his charge card says right now. Right. So we'll be following, those cases. I'm sure Boosie's case will have some other ongoings, sure. As well as Conor McGregor, and especially Julian Assange. I keep you all posted and updated with, knowledge that I get secondhand.
Right.
You know, not even direct Twitter sources and information. I usually get my information from like, you know, third and fourth hand accounts. Otherwise, it just isn't natural and organic to me. You know what I'm saying? So, before we play Two Truths and a Con, I want to again say shout out to our sponsors, Impressive, the smoking and the smoking accessories company for the young millennial. All right, so go to them, smokeimpressive.com. Use our promo code Verdict when you check out, 10% to get some shit. The Dreamville Festival.
Oh yeah.
So I went. I didn't get a lot of like pictures and video, just because I was more so like soaking it in.
Yeah.
And or standing in line.
Yeah.
But it was like very well done.
Okay.
Very well done. I enjoyed myself. Like when I went to Rolling Loud, there was a period of time where there were so many people and I got so nervous. Like what happens if someone blah blah blah, you know?
Right.
But at Dreamville, there wasn't a moment where I felt like, okay, like everybody there seemed like they had a good head screwed in on their shoulders.
Right,
like,
right.
You know, very few. But you could tell there was a lot of people who haven't been to a festival before. Like, if you go to a festival thinking you finna lay the towel out and like kick back and enjoy, no.
Right.
No. Yes, for a minute.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
Pick this shit up.
Yeah.
Or it's getting trampled on. Like, for real. I think, like, you know, that used to be one of my things. I won't, like, you know, spend a lot of time on it, but, like, you know how you have this vision of something from TV?
Yeah.
And then when you go to it, it's just like, yo, this is not fucking TV.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Real life.
This is real life.
This is real life here. This is not a test.
Pick this shit up or it's going to get stepped on. So, you know, there was a lot of, like, first-timers who want that, you know, experience of what people think Coachella is.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of people who've been to a festival before and was like, y'all step on this shit.
Yeah.
Like, move it. The
Yeah.
fucking picnic's over, nigga.
Yeah.
We here now.
Yeah.
And like where it was just, there were some things I didn't like, but overall I had a great time. I would never ever go to a festival and not go VIP though.
Right.
So from now on I either won't go or I go VIP. Like it's just like being that many energies, you know, and it's like coming in contact with them. That's also very draining. That's very draining. And then, you know, the whole Uber and Lyft situation. Like, were you driving that night, Saturday night?
No.
Oh, you
no.
missed out. You missed out. I don't know what you was doing, but you lost a lot of money.
No, I purposely did not because I knew that shit was I'm gonna be real with you. Like that's like the events are where the money's at, but how long I'm sitting and how long it takes me to find you and how many times I have to circle around. Like I spend 30 minutes trying to get to one person. That's why we get paid so fucking much because shit be blocked off. The cops are every fucking where. Like shit's stupid. So I said, you know what? I checked it and that shit was at like, I'd say like $18. And then that was like 3 hours before you and at least 10 of my other friends calling me like, yo, come pick me up. Pick me up. This shit is stupid. And I'm like, bruh, I could have just made guap off of you motherfuckers without even being out there. But I was like, no, I'm going to bed. Oh,
shit. Yeah. Now, at one point, them rides was like $130.
I heard. Like to go from there to like Wake Forest was stupid.
And I had parked my car here. And rode a Uber downtown, and that was like $13. And then coming back, that shit was like $48.
Damn.
I was like, man, fuck. I was about to start walking on the highway. I was like, shit, it's only an exit or two up.
Damn.
So, that's it for roll call. If you didn't have anything else, I was going to jump into this Two Truths and a Con.
Let's get it.
All right, cool. Two Truths and a Con. Scenario number 1. A Texas couple dining in Tennessee has pressed charges against a hibachi restaurant for what they claim was a sexual assault when a cook sprayed them in the face with water.
Okay.
Scenario number 2. Florida man arrested for assaulting police officer and uses the alias emo ass. All right.
Okay.
Scenario number 3. Man erupts at a Santa Ana gas station when his card declined while attempting to purchase a 75-cent pack of M&Ms.
Okay.
2 of those situations occurred in real life, and one I made up. Which one is the con?
First one.
The first one, the Texas couple dining in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
No, that actually happened.
Okay.
That actually happened. They were squirted in the face. There was like a little toy. You pull his pants down and like water would spray out from his wee area. That's why they called it a sexual assault. Because,
that's funny.
Right, yeah, they felt assaulted. And it was crazy. Like they had the owner and he's like this little Japanese guy. And he's like, yeah, the kid
Right.
it was silly. So, no, the con is actually the Florida man arrested for assaulting police officer and using the alias Emo Ass. Now, here's the thing though. Mm-hmm. That's partially true.
Okay.
Because a Florida man was arrested for assaulting a police officer and he did use an alias. However, the alias he actually used was Dickface Johnson. So that was real life. He used the alias Dickface Johnson when he was arrested. But the man erupting at the gas station with the M&Ms, that actually happened as well. There's video of him kind of just going berserk. He just fucking went berserk. He pushed the fucking machine over. He grabbed some bananas and was throwing it at employees. And to top it all off, these people say they can't find him.
That's crazy.
I say they can't find him. So he did all that on camera and got away. So I hope he feels, accomplished.
Right.
I hope he feels accomplished. So other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, I think we are.
All right. So, if you're rocking with this episode of the Verdict Podcast, make sure you like, rate, review, subscribe, share, comment on iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, wherever podcasts are listened to. Also, you can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at House of Splash. You can also go to my website. Oh, also at the live show, we debuted the brand new wavy shirts. Brand new shirts were given away, debuted at the live show. So if you'd like to be one of the first people in the world to have your hands on one of those, definitely go to thehouseofsplash.com, place your order, and enjoy. I must say, the quality is, about what, I wanted. So we're all moving in the right direction for sure.
Facts.
So check that out. Where can the people stalk your life on the internet?
Instagram, NOINEK, and Snapchat, Zay_billion, ZE_BYLLION.
Okay. Yeah.